Today I just want to talk a little bit about breastfeeding. Um, as some of you may know, I am a mom of two boys and I breastfeed both of them. Well, I breastfed one. I'm still breastfeeding the other one. I just want to share with you a little bit about what I wear when I breastfeed. I usually wear either a feeding bra or a sports bra, and then either a low-cut t-shirt or a tank top, something easy to be able to breastfeed without having to take off your shirt, and then an easy simple ponytail, or just pull your hair back or something so your baby doesn't play with it like mine does. My firstborn was obviously the first time I was experiencing with breastfeeding, and I was really strong on like keeping to it because I really wanted my child to breastfeed. And we did really good. We went 13 months with breastfeeding. He did great with latching. So it was like a breeze with him. And I had a schedule with him with feedings, and I also had a pumping schedule, which helped me a lot because I went back to school after I had him, and so I needed someone else to feed him for me, and I really wanted him to continue to drink breast milk. And so it helped a lot to keep a schedule for breastfeeding because it had a consistent supply for me to keep at home for whoever had to feed him. So he did great feeding out of a bottle. He caught on really quick. I think personally, for if you are going to pump, I think it is really good to keep a schedule for pumping, like whether it's once a day, twice a day, but also the consistency of time. At least it helped me with my supply. I had a really big supply with my firstborn, so pumping helped me relieve some of the discomfort that I had with it. So if you decide to pump, then a schedule most likely will help you. I don't want to say it will because everybody is different. But, so yeah, with my first, it was super easy to breastfeed. He latched, he breastfed, he bottle fed. I did not formula feed him because of my views on breastfeeding and really wanted him to get all those vitamins and everything from breast milk. One thing with him is he decided to not breastfeed as much anymore for a few months. And then towards the end, where I was trying to not get him used to breastfeeding, he decided to start breastfeeding. So that was a little bit hard, and it's an emotional toll on both mom and baby when you decide to stop breastfeeding. But I would encourage anybody who is breastfeeding or who is planning on breastfeeding to just go as long as you feel like your baby needs. Now, with my second son, he is 10 months now, so 10 months into breastfeeding him. In the beginning, it was a little hard because he has a high palate, and the nurses told me that a baby with a high palate, it's harder for them to latch on. So he did have a hard time latching on, and it set back on like how much milk he got in a feeding and everything. So with that, I did try to pump and bottle feed him, but again with the high palate, it was hard for him to suck through the bottle. It was a bit of work in the beginning for both of us to get used to the way he was breastfeeding and just for him to get used to breastfeeding as it was. Um, but he caught on, he did great. He, as we kept trying to bottle feed him, so like say I could get a break or like dad wanted to try to help or grandma or anybody, he did not want to do that. So I just consistently breastfeed him, which is no problem at all. He is also a very picky eater, as I am finding out. He is not willing to eat table food as much as I would want him to. So he is constantly on the breast. He has his own schedule that I have caught on to, and I follow it. I breastfeed him whenever he's hungry, pretty much on the schedule that I've recognized that he has set for himself. I do not pump anymore. I stopped pumping because I noticed that it decreased my milk supply with him. So just consistently breastfeeding him increases it a little more than pumping does. So that was interesting to me this time around because I know pumping is supposed to increase your supply, but for me it did not. So this time around it was a little bit of a challenge, but we're doing good. I am planning on going another 13 months, so we'll see how it goes with him um, getting used to not breastfeeding because I know he likes it so much. Next, I'll talk about some pros and cons that I have experienced personally with my breastfeeding journeys. Some pros for me were it's just simple and easy for me to do. Obviously, the first time around was a breeze, as I said, because he also bottle fed, so someone else could help me out if I had something to do. This time around, I don't have that much help with feeding because of how my baby is. But other than that, it's just easier for me. Like when we go out, I'm the food supply, I'm the refrigerator, as some people say. So he always has food. I don't have to worry about having the extra bottles or cans of formula or anything. So it's just easy for me. Another thing is it saves us a lot of money. So we don't have to buy the formula. I just breastfeed. We save money that way. It's more convenient for me because, like I said, when we go out, his food supply is me. So I don't have to worry about, like, oh my god, I forgot a bottle, or oh my god, there's not enough formula, or anything like that. Some cons would, for me, would be sometimes it's hard, especially this time around, as I said. Sometimes he just doesn't want to eat in public, so he'll either not eat or he doesn't eat as much, so he'll be more crankier if we do go out. So I sometimes wish I did push more with the bottle so he would feed more. Another con would be low milk supply. I did not think I would have a low supply, but this time around I do, and it's not that great because I have a really fussy baby if I don't have enough milk for him, and I'm constantly breastfeeding if my supply that day is super, super low. But there are tricks to that on getting your supply up that I will also make a video on for what worked for me. Another con would be mastitis. The first time around with my firstborn, I had mastitis 3 times and it was not fun. I did not know what was wrong with me. I thought I was severely sick and I could not move sometimes because it hurts so much. And it's really hard to breastfeed a baby or even pump when you have mastitis, and I do not wish it on anybody. Another thing I want to share with you guys is a little bit about pumping. As I said, I did pump the first time around and then a little bit in the beginning of for this time around. I do have my pumps here with me that I would like to share with you. So this is one of them. It's just a hand pump. So it's the Amita hand pump. I do not know where the bottle is for it, so I have a Medela bottle on there. But it's pretty simple. You just screw the bottle onto the bottom. It comes with this little piece inside. You put it right inside there, and then it's just this piece that pops on, which this got stuck. But yeah, it's simple to put together, and you just hand pump as usual, as you would. So to demonstrate that a little bit, that clips on there, the little pieces inside, you screw the bottle on, and then you just squeeze it as so. And then the little piece in there is the little suction help. Another one that I have is this Evenflo electric hand pump. It is a couple pieces. This piece, you just push this little button on the side to get it off. But then it's the bottle, and then this little piece inside, which some of you may have seen, just comes out. This one will not come out for some reason, but it's the little piece in there. And it also comes with this little piece right here that goes in the top right here, which helps the suction when you turn it on. So this part clips onto here. If you can see this little area right here, you just slide it in there and then twist it and it locks. And then put the bottle on. There we go. And then there's a button here. You push that, and this is a dial for how strong you want the suction to be. I always start low for the little suckle in the beginning, and then you move it as far as you want for it to do the long suctions. So if you turn it on, it'll make that sound. And I don't know if you could see the little green thing inside, it's moving up and down. That's what I meant by the little suction help. But yeah, this has come in handy for me if I don't want to use the manual pump. This one helped a lot when we were on the road and I had to pump. Another thing I want to share is breast pads. These have saved me this time around. But breast pads are very helpful if you have like a big supply, or if you just leak when you're breastfeeding, which I do most of the time. You just slide them in your bra, and when you're breastfeeding, you don't have to worry about leaking through. You don't have to worry about damaging or ruining your bra or your shirt or anything. So it saves a lot of worry and anxiety if you have it when you're breastfeeding. So that's all that I have to share today. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll get back to anybody, and if you have any video suggestions that you would like me to put my opinion on or share, I would be willing to do that.